Okay, do me a favor. Don't scroll. Just look at your own arm for 1 second. Nothing, right? Smooth. Boring. A perfectly normal arm doing perfectly normal arm things. Now think about the last time your body did this. The little bumps. The hair standing at attention like it just heard bad news. Maybe it was a song. Maybe a cold breeze. Maybe someone said something that hit a little too right. And for about 4 seconds, your body threw a full-on ancient survival response for absolutely no reason. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Goosebumps are basically a body glitch. A leftover. Software your body is still running for hardware you got rid of a million years ago, which raises a genuinely ridiculous question. If goosebumps don't do anything for you anymore, why do you still have them? Why does your skin react to Adele the same way it reacts to a predator? Stick with me, because the answer starts out kind of cute, gets weird in the middle, and ends with a plot twist from 2020 that flips the whole thing on its head. Let's ruin the mystery together. First, let's catch your body in the act. Because when you get goosebumps, there is a real, physical, slightly absurd thing happening under your skin. Attached to nearly every hair follicle on your body is a muscle. A tiny one. It's called the erector pili, which sounds like a spell from a wizard school, but really just means the muscle that makes the hair stand up. You have thousands of them, and normally they just chill, doing nothing, freeloading. But the second the right signal comes in cold, fear, a key change in your favorite song, every one of those little muscles contracts at the same time. They yank on the hair follicles, the hairs snap upright, and the skin around each one bunches up into a little bump. Multiply that by a few thousand, and congratulations, you're covered in goosebumps. And I have to tell you the name for this, because scientists were feeling dramatic the day they named it. The technical term is piloerection. Go ahead. Get it out of your system. I'll wait. Done? Great, because here's the part that's actually clever. Goosebumps isn't just a cute nickname, it's a description of a bird. When you pluck a goose, the skin where the feathers were is covered in raised little bumps, same texture as your arm right now. So every time you get chills, you are technically, biologically imitating a plucked goose. You're welcome for that image. You'll think about it forever now. But notice something. I keep listing totally different triggers. Cold, fear, music, those have nothing in common. Being chilly and hearing a saxophone solo should not push the same button, and yet they do. Which means somewhere in your body, there's a single button, and everything is wired to it. Let's go find it. Here's where your body stops being cute and starts being kind of a control freak. You have a nervous system that handles all the stuff you never think about. Heartbeat, digestion, sweat. Whether or not your arm hair stages a revolt. It's called the autonomic nervous system, and one half of it has exactly one personality: panic. This is the fight or flight system. It's the part of you that takes over when a bear shows up. And when it fires, it doesn't do one thing, it does everything at once. Heart races, pupils widen, blood rushes to your muscles. And it squeezes those little erector pili muscles, so goosebumps. The chemical it uses to shout all these orders? Adrenaline. Plus its cousin, noradrenaline. Same stuff that fuels every I lifted a car off someone's story you've ever heard. Now here's the clever part, and this is the whole secret of goosebumps, so lean in. Your fight or flight system is lazy about triggers. It doesn't carefully check why it got activated. It just knows it got a jolt, and it runs the entire program every time. Cold snap? Jolt. Bear? Jolt. That one part of the song where the drums drop back in? Also a jolt. To your nervous system, all three feel like the same emergency. So it gives you the same response. Goosebumps aren't a reaction to cold or fear or beauty specifically. They're a reaction to your body getting startled awake for any reason at all. Which is honestly kind of poetic. The same reflex fires when you're about to die and when you're moved to tears. Your body literally cannot tell the difference between danger and awe. But okay, fine. We know the how. We know the button and the muscles and the adrenaline. That still doesn't explain the big one. Why? Why would evolution give you a panic button wired to your arm hair? What was it ever for? For that, we have to go back, way back, to when you were significantly furrier. Picture your ancient ancestor, and I mean ancient, not grandma. I mean a small, nervous, extremely hairy mammal several million years ago who is having a bad day because everything wants to eat it. For that little guy, goosebumps were genius. 2 reasons. Reason 1, staying warm. When it got cold, those erector pili muscles pulled all the fur upright. Fluffed up fur traps a layer of air next to the skin, instant insulation. It's the exact same reason you fluff up a down jacket or a bird puffs into a little round feather balloon in winter. Your ancestor could raise its own personal blanket on command using nothing but tiny muscles. Free heating. Incredible. Reason 2, and this one's my favorite, looking huge. You've seen a scared cat do this. It puffs everything up and instantly looks twice as big. That's not the cat being dramatic. That's the exact same goosebump reflex erector pili muscles yanking the fur straight up, and it's a survival move. Because if a predator's deciding whether to fight you, size is the whole conversation. Puff up, look bigger, look meaner, and maybe it picks an easier lunch. A porcupine raising its quills, a dog's hackles going up on its neck, that cat looking like a startled toilet brush, all the same system, all goosebumps. And then there's you. You get the exact same reflex. The muscles fire, the follicles pull, the hairs stand up. Your body confidently deploys its ancient, make me look enormous and terrifying defense, using the roughly 11 wispy hairs you have left on your forearm. You are running predator intimidation software on a body that lost the fur about 1 million years ago. It's like keeping the alarm system after you sold the house. The button still works. It's just protecting nothing, which is why scientists have long called goosebumps a vestigial reflex, a leftover. A beautiful, useless glitch you inherited from a much hairier relative. And for a long, long time, that was the end of the story. Goosebumps. Cute, pointless, evolutionary hand-me-down. Except, I promised you a plot twist, and it turns out useless was wrong. But before we get there, we need to talk about the weirdest trigger of all. The one that has nothing to do with bears or cold. The one that gives you goosebumps in a warm room, sitting perfectly safe, doing nothing but listening. Let's talk about the song. You have one, everybody has one. That track where a specific moment, a key change, a voice cracking, the beat dropping back in sends a wave right up your spine, and your arm goes full plucked goose. Quick, mischievous request. Pause for half a second and actually think of your song. The one that does it. Got it in your head? Good. Keep it there. We're going to explain exactly what it's doing to you. This feeling even has a fancy name. Frisson. It sounds like a dessert. It's French. It basically means aesthetic chills, goosebumps caused by beauty instead of danger, and it is genuinely one of the strangest things your brain does, because there is no bear. There is no cold. There is nothing to survive. There's just art, and your body reacts like it's a life or death event. So what's going on? Here's the clever bit. When you listen to music, your brain is constantly doing something sneaky. It's predicting. Guessing what note comes next, when the beat will land, where the melody's headed. Your brain loves patterns. It's a prediction machine that never clocks out. And the songs that give you chills, they're the ones that set up a pattern and then break it at exactly the right moment. The note you didn't expect, the pause that lasts a beat too long. The build that finally pays off. That little violation of your expectations gives your brain a jolt, and it rewards you with a hit of dopamine, the same feel-good chemical tied to food and money, and, other fun things. Studies watching people's brains during their favorite songs found the reward center lighting up twice, once in anticipation as the good part approaches, and again at the peak when it hits. Your brain gets excited about the chills before they even happen, and that dopamine rush comes riding on the same emotional wave that trips your fight or flight system, so right on cue, the little muscles fire, and there's your frisson. Now here's the part that starts a lot of arguments. Not everyone gets frisson. Some people get chills from music constantly. Some people have literally never felt it and think the rest of us are exaggerating. And researchers found the difference tracks with a personality trait roughly, how open you are to new experiences, how deeply you get absorbed in art and imagination and ideas. So if you're the type who gets full-body goosebumps from a movie score, congratulations, your brain is extremely invested in the story. And if you're the type who feels nothing, you're not broken, your prediction machine is just harder to surprise. Enjoy your calm, chill-free existence. We're a little jealous. Not really. Okay, a little. But here's what I love about all this. It means your arm hair, the same hair that once tried to scare off predators, now stands up for Beethoven, for a sad movie, for a friend's wedding speech. The panic reflex got repurposed for beauty, which brings us, at last, to the twist. Because scientists spent a century calling goosebumps useless, and then, in 2020, they found out what they'd been missing. Remember the setup? Goosebumps. Vestigial, pointless, a leftover reflex protecting a body that no longer has fur to raise. Textbook stuff. Everyone agreed. Then a team of researchers at Harvard decided to look really closely at that tiny erector pili muscle, the little hair raiser and the nerve attached to it. And they found something nobody expected. That little muscle and its nerve aren't just there to make hair stand up. They're also permanently wired to the stem cells at the base of the follicle, the cells responsible for growing new hair. In other words, the exact same machinery that gives you goosebumps is sitting right on top of the machinery that grows your hair. They're not neighbors, they're connected. One system. And here's the beautiful part. Watch how this makes cold suddenly make sense on 2 time scales. When it gets cold, the nerve fires. In the short term, instantly it squeezes the muscle, and you get goosebumps to keep warm. That's the reflex, you know? But if the cold sticks around, that same nerve keeps firing at a low hum, and that steady signal tells the stem cells to wake up and start growing new hair. Think about what that means. In the short term, cold makes your existing fur stand up to trap heat right now. In the long term, cold tells your body to grow a thicker coat for the winter ahead. Goosebumps are the fast response. New hair is the slow one. Same nerve, same system. 2 solutions to the same problem being cold running on completely different clocks. So that useless leftover reflex we've been dunking on for the whole video, it was never useless. It's one visible symptom of a system that's still actively managing your hair, you just only ever notice the 4-second version. Every time you get chills, you're not glitching. You're watching a live status update from one of the most quietly sophisticated systems in your skin. The goose was never dumb. We were. I told you it'd flip. But we're not done because your body has a few goosebump party tricks that are genuinely, delightfully unhinged. And you're going to want to try one of them. Lightning round. 3 of the strangest things about Goosebumps and 1 thing to try before you leave. 1. The people who do it on command. Remember how Goosebumps run through the automatic nervous system, the part you're not supposed to control? A small number of people can trigger the whole thing at will. They just think about it, and boom, Goosebumps. No cold. No fear. Pure willpower squeezing muscles you're not even supposed to have access to. If you can do this, you've probably been showing it off since childhood. If you can't, you've been quietly furious at those people your whole life. 2. The pea shiver. You know the one. That involuntary full-body shudder, sometimes with goosebumps during a very specific bathroom moment. Scientists genuinely have not fully nailed down why it happens. The leading idea? A little crossed-wire moment in the autonomic nervous system, a small, confused surge that ropes in the goosebump reflex along the way. Your body files an unrelated report and CCs your arm hair. It's not important. It's just proof your wiring is gloriously imperfect. And now you can't unknow it. 3. Goosebumps from being moved. Not fear, not cold, not even a song. Just a moment, something noble, or overwhelming, or beautiful. A speech, a comeback, a stranger doing something kind. Your body reacts to sheer emotional meaning by firing the ancient predator alarm, which is, when you think about it, kind of the most human thing in the world. The same reflex that once braced you for death now stands up to say this. Matters. And the thing to try, next time your song hits that one moment, the one you thought about earlier, glance at your arm. Catch it in the act. Watch a million-year-old reflex fire for no reason but beauty. It's a tiny magic trick your body performs for free, and now you'll actually see it. So, let's put the goose back together. Goosebumps are thousands of tiny muscles yanking your hairs upright, fired by your fight-or-flight system, which is too lazy to check why it got startled. A reflex you inherited from a furry ancestor who used it to stay warm and look terrifying. Repurposed now to give you chills from music and meaning. And secretly, quietly, still running one of the smartest systems in your skin. So the next time a cold breeze, or a bear, or Adele, or a stranger's kindness makes your skin pebble up into that ancient little pattern, you'll know exactly what's happening. Your body just got startled awake, pulled on a coat you no longer have, tried to scare off a predator that isn't there, and whispered, "In the oldest language you own, something's happening. Pay attention." Honestly, for a useless leftover glitch, that's kind of beautiful. Don't tell your nervous system I said that. It'll get a big head. It's already running the whole show back there. Now, quick, did your arm do the thing just now, thinking about all this? Let me know in the comments.